Greetings, you leech fanatics. I hope you're doing well. Welcome to the Crack-A-Pack here on LRRMTG. My name is Graham, and today I'm opening this box of a booster pack. It's a Silverquill theme booster from Strixhaven that was given to us by William, or TSS-aholic at Vegas. MagicCon Vegas 2023. Figured we'd get some of the newer ones in the rotation. And I don't know that I've opened a Strixhaven theme booster before. I'm sure we'll hilariously cut to footage of me doing that if I have. But yeah, I guess they did theme boosters for each of the houses at Strixhaven, and this is Silverquill's, aka one of the two limited decks I draft. Let's get into this. Oh, that's not how I thought this was going to be packaged. We've done one of these before in a different set, and I forgot. I was expecting a normal booster pack in here, but no, it's actually, there's nothing in the top. There's some cards here at the bottom. Let me show you. Let me just rip the full cover off. There. That's how they're packaged. There's just a bunch of cards in plastic at the bottom here, and then air to make it look more impressive when it's hanging on a peg in Walmart. Okay. Well, here's the booster. Whoa, there's a lot of cards in this. Okay. Just out here to make James's job more difficult. We start off with Arrogant Poet. 1 and a black for a 2/1 human warlock. Whenever Arrogant Poet attacks, you may pay 2 life. If you do, it gains flying until end of turn. Yeah, why not? We all learned our lesson from Inkling Summoning. 1, and I guess they're Silverquill mana. I would say Orzhov mana, but I guess it's 1 and 2 Silverquill hybrid mana. For a sorcery lesson, you make a 2/1 flying Inkling token. But it's a lesson, so you can go get it from your learn board. The school board? What did we call that? I can't remember what we ended up calling that. We've got the Silverquill Campus. Remember, this is your annual reminder that those lands can scry. And we're already into an uncommon. Umbral Juke. 2 and a black for an instant. Choose 1. Target player sacrifices a creature or planeswalker and create a 2/1 black and white Inkling creature token with flying. Now we're back to commons. I don't know how these are arranged. Are there rares in here? There's so many cards. Goodness, I didn't realize it was quite this many cards. Silverquill Pledge Mage, 1 and 2 hybrid Silverquill mana for a 3/1 Vampire Cleric with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery spell, Silverquill Pledge Mage gains your choice of flying or lifelink until end of turn. Here we go. Another Arrogant Poet. Another Inkling Summoning. A Thunderous Orator, 1 and a white for a 2/2 core wizard with vigilance, and whenever it attacks, it gains flying until end of turn if you control a creature with flying. The same is true for First Strike, Double Strike, Death Touch, Indestructible, Lifelink, Menace, and Trample. It just sort of picks up whatever keywords you got laying around in your red zone. Actually, the other creatures don't even need to be attacking. Just whatever other creatures you have, like Owlin Shield Mage. 3 white. Black for a 3/3 flying bird warlock with ward, pay 3 life. Really annoying. Mage Hunter's Onslaught. 2 black for a sorcery, destroy target creature or planeswalker. Whenever a creature blocks this turn, its controller loses 1 life. Could be any creature. That seems like it'd be fun in Commander, but there's probably better cards for Commander. It's me. I'm humiliated by my lack of Commander metagame knowledge. That's not even a good segue. Humiliate is our next card. It's white-black for a sorcery. Target opponent reveals their hand. You choose a non-land card from it. That player discards that card. You put a +1/+1 counter on a creature you control. Like, for example, the Star Pupil, a 0/0 for 1 white that enters with 1 +1/+1 counter on it. And when it dies, you put its counters on target creature you control. When I'm done here, they'll name entire buildings after me, says the flavor text. No, I've got bad news. You're here to chump block a big dumb idiot. Like the Moss Dog. Professor's Warning. Instant, put a +1/+1 counter on a creature, or a creature gains indestructible until end of turn. We can plumb the Forbidden if we so desire. It's 1 and a black for an instant. As an additional cost to cast the spell, you may sacrifice 1 or more creatures. When you do, copy this spell for each creature sacrificed this way. You draw a card and lose 1 life. So if you are in Witherbloom and you sacrifice a bunch of pests, you basically just sort of get your life back. once the stack clears anyway. Spiteful Squad, 2 white/black for a 0/0 human warlock with death touch. Enters the battlefield with 2 +1/+1 counters on it. When it dies, you put its counters on target creature you control. I think they just took, I'm looking ahead, I think they just took every Silverquill card and sort of put it in here. There are some more doubles though, but not yet, because we have Exhilarating Elocution, 2 white/black for a sorcery. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature you control. Other creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. This is shaping up to be a very aggressive deck. Dueling Coach, 3 and a white for a 2/2 human monk. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And for 4 and a white, put a +1/+1 counter on each creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it. We have another Mage Hunter's Onslaught. We have a Promising Dusk Mage, 2 and a black for a 2/3 human warlock. When it dies, if it had a +1/+1 counter on it, draw a card. Closing Statement, instant. The spell costs 2 less to cast during your end step. Destroy a target creature or planeswalker you don't control. Put a +1/+1 counter on up to 1 target creature you control. Another Star Pupil. You can't have 2. Obviously. 2 Star Pupils, so no Star Pupils, is that what you're saying? Guiding Voice. Single white mana, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature and learn, which means you can go get a lesson from your sideboard. We've got 2 of them already. Or if you don't have any lessons left, you can rummage. Is it rummage or loot? It is rummage. This Inkcaster has tenure. It's the tenured Inkcaster. 4 and a black for a 2/2. When it enters the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on target creature. And whenever a creature you control with a +1/+1 counter on it attacks, each opponent loses 1 life and you gain 1 life. We have another lesson, Expanded Anatomy. 3 mana for a colorless sorcery. Put 2 +1/+1 counters on target creature. It gains vigilance until end of turn. Another Spiteful Squad. An Eager First Year. 1 and a white for a 2/2 human wizard with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, it gets +1/+0 until end of turn. A Cogwork Archivist, which is a funny way of saying librarian. A friend of mine's a librarian and brings up all the time that Magic has this thing where they say archivist when they are clearly depicting a librarian, which are different skill sets. I don't know, I just felt like I needed to say something that wasn't reading card names. Holy moly. 6 mana for a 4/5 with Reach, and for 2 and tap, put target card from a graveyard on the bottom of its owner's library. We've got the Silverquill Apprentice, white/black for a 2/2 human warlock with Magecraft. Whenever you cast or copy an instant or sorcery, target creature gets +1/+0 until end of turn. Another Silverquill Campus, another Exhilarating Elocution, a Letter of Acceptance, delivered by Origami Owl, it seems. 3 mana artifact, tap to add 1 mana of any color, and 2 and tap and sacrifice it to draw a card. Defend the Campus, 3 and a white for an instant. Choose 1. Either creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn, or destroy target creature with power 4 or greater. Killian, Ink Duelist, white/black for a 2/2 human warlock with lifelink and menace, and spells you cast that target a creature cost 2 less to cast, which seems very good considering the rest of this. Beaming Defiance, 1 and a white for an instant. Target creature you control gets +2/+2 and hexproof until end of turn. And finally, after all of that, the singular rare is Sedgemoor Witch, which is a really good card. It's 2 and a black for a 3/2 human warlock with menace, ward, pay 3 life, and Magecraft. You create a 1/1 black and green pest creature token with, when this creature dies, you gain 1 life. Hilarious to me that the rare in the Silverquill theme booster is a Witherbloom card, but let's not worry about that. We also have a card here that explains the phases of Magic. Begin, main, combat, main, again, and end. I love that it has brackets on again. Main phase, again. What a weird thing. I guess this is like, it's like a whole Silverquill deck, really. It's just sort of add land. How many cards is this? Yeah, there's 33 cards in here, plus the 2 Silverquill campics. So yeah, you could just add some basics, then you have a 60 card constructed deck, which I guess is pretty cool. Oh yeah, look, it says right there, add 25 lands to start building a 60 card deck. That's the point. Huh. Okay. I don't know how much these were supposed to retail for, but it's worth about $5.67, over 3 of which is the Sedgemoor Witch, because Sedgemoor, which is a great Magic card. It's also what I would take, the Witherbloom card out of this Silverquill pack. I mean, you can't... This is... I think we found a booster you really shouldn't draft. Because it's just... It's silly. This is a weird thing. I mean, I guess it's great if you're like, look, I just want to put together a Silverquill standard deck for some jamming with my friends, and then it's probably pretty all right. But I wouldn't call it a booster, I guess because it's random. I don't know. I have a lot of questions about... I don't think they do these anymore. I don't think the theme boosters have existed lately, but then I don't tend to buy my cards from, well, London Drugs. That's a Canadian chain. Don't worry about it. Anyway, that's going to do it for this episode of the Crack-A-Pack. Thanks again to William, TSS-aholic, at MagicCon Vegas. If you want to give us a pack, you can do that if you see us at a MagicCon or through the mail to the address on your screen. A reminder, of course, that this show and everything we do is brought to you by you and your kind support of our Patreon at patreon.com/loadingreadyrun. Until next time, I have been Graham, joined by James on tech. Matt edits these, and Heather gets them online. And thank you all so much for watching. See you next time.